If you are anything like me, just love some technology, then you got a home right here at In Other News because I'm just done with it. I am done with it. Thank you so much for hanging out. I am Mike Russell. This is In Other News. Love that you were here. And yesterday, the little kerfuffle after the Go show with Meta. So I just reposted the video. If any of you missed the recap of the amazing trip with Queen Bee, if any of you missed that because of a glitch in, not really a glitch, we played a video. We actually played an Instagram reel that she posted from her trip, and it had a song behind it. So Instagram reel, it's okay to have that song on Instagram. We played it here on Facebook. Facebook just pulled the whole video down. It's like, what in the world? So they pulled it down, and I guess I had to go in and click I accept the changes. They muted that entire part, which is 30 seconds. It's not a big deal. But sometimes, so Facebook put it back on, and then some people could see it, some people couldn't. And no, YouTube did not pull it down. I checked YouTube a little earlier on. So Meta pulled it down. They made an edit and said, can you accept these changes? And I said, yeah, I accept the changes. And then it populated back up on everybody's, but not everybody's site. So I just reposted it. So there we go. With the edits in there, everything should be good and running and rocking and rolling. It says that it's 98% checked. And so I just, what a mess. That's what I was doing. Nice to have check for a copyright strike on YouTube. I might, who knows? I'll go in and edit that thing too. I'm like, come on, really, guys? It's an Instagram, especially with Meta. So Instagram is Meta. So Instagram and Facebook, they have different copyright smacks. Yeah, because I guess it was fine going up on YouTube. I mean, on Instagram, but not really cool going up on Facebook. So, hey, really, it's all we can do. I will double check that and make sure that I am good. Copyright content was not detected in your video. There we go. Boom. Sharing it up. There we go. Not now for the videos clipping and snipping. And there we go. So now it is on there twice on my feed, but it is all good and everybody is good. What's going on? Dogs and cats living together, pulling videos due to songs. The world is coming to an end. Grizz, I don't disagree with you. Alfred says music copyright is just too much. How does the music industry dictate what people can hear? And here's the deal with I'm friends with a man named Michael Lecter. Michael Lecter is an attorney who essentially wrote the intellectual property text for Arizona State. And he said that yes, you can. If a certain company owns the rights to your art, they can disseminate that or not disseminate that however they want because they own the rights. That's the key term, the rights. But I think it's stupid that music companies would say, I will not allow you to play 30 seconds of my song. Because if I play 30 seconds, if anyone plays 30 seconds of my song, somebody might go, hey, I haven't heard that song in a hot minute. I need to download that thing. Do you remember Napster? Napster was the oh my God, in what, LimeWire? So Napster and LimeWire, what they found was after the big, Metallica nonsense and BS. Actually, Metallica did get kind of hosed in that. Metallica, they released Metallica's album before it was released. So that was, you kind of get what you deserve on that one. But the studies that were done found that the music, the top pirated songs on Napster or LimeWire or whatever were the top songs on the Billboard charts. That it was fueling some sort of advertising and people going, oh, look at that. Yeah, I definitely want to do that. Mm-hmm. So cool. So I think it is a cool thing to be able to play 30 seconds of music. And most radio stations have like I remember when we were in the talk stations, we could play up to 30 seconds of a song. And that was okay. Yeah. 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 And this is, yeah, exactly. Should. Mm-hmm. There's so many YouTubers out there, in streamers out there that just making bank just by standing out there and just filming stuff and waiting till someone gets annoyed by it and then calls the cops, and the cops have to tell that person that they can do that because it's you have zero expectation of privacy in public. Zero. According to the law. That's right. According to the law. Can we get to some good stuff? Let's do, shall we? I want to start with this because I want to start with something fun. And we're trying to stick to the in other news genre. So what I am doing is trying to stay away from the fray of the everything's Trump, everything's Biden, everything's Schumer, everything's McConnell, everything's this and that. You guys get the picture if you didn't tune in yesterday. But let's start with this. Angel Reese. For those that don't know, Angel Reese is the wannabe best player in the WNBA. Obviously, Caitlin Clark is the best player in the WNBA. If she's not the best player, she's the biggest draw. She has revitalized that entire league. And still, even with Caitlin Clark, massive attendance records, broken attendance records across the season. Okay. They had to move some games to bigger arenas just because Caitlin Clark was in town. Okay. So this is a big thing. Angel Reese comes along. Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark had this little rivalry in college, and the WNBA thought this is going to be Magic Bird because we have a black girl and a white girl. So it's going to be Magic Bird. Oh my gosh. And if you don't know your history in the NBA, Grizzly, she is a bad attitude. Yeah, she doesn't have bad attitude. She is a bad attitude. So the NBA was toast. They were done. They were not doing well. They were struggling until the Bird Magic rivalry came along. And I was a Laker fan, so I'll say the Magic Bird rivalry. Ha! Take that, Rob. The Magic Bird rivalry came along and revitalized the entire league. That's what the WNBA thought that they were going to do with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Angel Reese can't make a layup. One of the worst athletes I've ever seen, hands down. I mean, she is she does well in rebounds, and the reason why she does well in rebounds, she's rebounding her own miss several times. She's awful, but she has a podcast, she has a modeling career, she dresses like just a whatever, and she is annoying as all hell. She's insufferable. So what she did, she is a rebounding machine, rebounding her own misses. What she did is demand that the league strike if they don't get equal pay as the NBA. Now, again, with all of that attendance, with all of those attendance records, this last season, more people watched the WNBA than had ever in their 30-year career, their 30-year tenure, whatever, however long they've been around. 30 years. They still lost $40 million last year. They lost $40 million last year. Do you know who made up that $40 million? The NBA. The NBA subsidizes them and gets them into the black every year. This is a losing venture in every way, shape, fashion, or form. But I found a comedian, thank God, that actually broke down the numbers. I mean, forget about it. I mean, if you want equal pay for equal play, okay, maybe this guy will break that down for you. But I heard the WNBA players are looking for a similar a similar share of revenue that the NBA players get. Essentially, the revenue of the NBA versus the players, the player percentage, they want the same percentage, which would mean that they owe about $80,000 a piece per player per year. If you want to go the same, because you're losing money, you're $40 million in the hole. But check this out.
They hashtagged it with equal pay for equal work. Now, I did a little bit of research. It's not exactly equal work. Let me break it down for you. The WNBA plays a 40-game season. The NBA plays an 82-game season. If you add one game to the 40, you get a reducible fraction, 41 over 82, or 1/2 as many games in a WNBA season as in an NBA season. Now, is each of these games the same length? No, the WNBA plays 2 20-minute halves or 40 minutes of basketball. The NBA plays 4 12-minute quarters or 48 minutes of basketball. The fraction there is 40 over 48 or 5 6 minutes of basketball in a WNBA game as an NBA game. Multiply that by the 1/2 as many games in a WNBA season. We learned that that season has 5/12 as many minutes of basketball in it as an NBA season. Now, is each minute of basketball in each of the seasons the same amount of work? No, there's different rules in the WNBA than there are in the NBA. The NBA has a 24-second shot clock, which means boys have 24 seconds to shoot the basketball. The WNBA has a 30-second shot clock, which means the girls have 30 seconds to shoot the basketball. So for every 2 minutes of play, a WNBA player runs down the floor one less time than an NBA player at a 4-to-5 ratio. Multiply the 4-to-5 ratio by the already established 5/12 minutes of basketball in a WNBA season. Cross-cancel the 5s, reduce the 4 over 12. We come to the conclusion that a WNBA season is 1/3 as much work as an NBA season, so that's one of the reasons why they don't make as much money. Now, I know what you women are thinking. You're thinking, hey, Tommy, slow down. We're girls. We aren't as good at math.
Oh, that's not. No, come on. Oh, that's solid. That's just solid stuff right there. And you know what? That's the thing. Like, we're as talented as the NBA people. No, you're not. No, you're not. We bring in as much. No, you don't. We sell as many jerseys. No, you don't. No, you don't. What I love so much about Serena Williams. I have an odd attraction to Serena Williams. I have no idea what's up there. I think it's just because the best of the sport. Like, I finally get that draw. Like, my God, she's like, there's no one that could play like this woman. So it was either David Letterman, it could have been Leno, somebody. And the height of her career said, you know, you'd probably on the men's tour, you would be top 10. Serena said, I wouldn't even be in the top 100. I would lose in straight sets to everyone in the top 100 on the men's tour. She said it's a different sport. It's a different game. It's played at a different level. So I'm saying there is Alfred's going to Costco. My man going to commune with our people over there at Costco. They're not the guy that the guy at Costco that defended the $4.99 chickens, the $1.50 hot dogs, and will never get rid of that, has died. Yeah, you know, all of you just kind of tensed up a little bit right there, didn't you? You're like, so what do you mean? I always get annoyed. It's so funny because $1.50 for the Colin, a $1.50 for a hot dog and a drink at Costco is the best deal ever. And I almost get upset because I don't drink soda and they don't have tea there. So I'm just like, okay, I got to get rid of this cup. So I usually give it to like a kid or some parent or say, you want to give a kid a soda? And I'm like, then why do I have to pay the $1.50? How cheap am I if I think that? I'm like, why do I pay the $1.50? Because I paid $1.50 for a huge hot dog. It's amazing. Jump inside my heads, kid. It is it's absolutely crazy. Did you hear the good news? I have been impressed with the celebrities that have decided to just up and move. They said that if Donald Trump was elected, they would move. Only a handful have done it, and I think that there's other reasons. Kash Patel and Pam Bondi could probably give you a better definition of why they're leaving. Ellen DeGeneres, Portia de Rossi. I think Portia's caught up in it. She ain't looking good. Portia de Rossi back in the original Arrested Development days, fantastic. Anyway, Rosie O'Donnell. Rosie O'Donnell has absolutely, actually, not even absolutely. She has temporarily moved from the United States. She said that she will only return to the United States when it is safe for equality and safe for all people. Okay. The only people that have to be concerned about Donald John Trump in office are those that have a redundant job and really kind of the non-essential employee kind of vibe, or you're a criminal. That's the only two groups that have to worry about anything. In the first 7 weeks, of the administration, 32,000 criminal aliens have been removed from the United States. We're talking about convicted felons, people with charges pending, and people with some kind of illegal deportation or whatever. But that's the smallest group. It's like 6,000. The rest are really, really, really criminals. 32,000. So if you're talking about things being safe, it's safe. That's safe. And then you get this kid at Columbia that that's the pro-Palestinian movement and just a jackhat. He's going to be deported. A judge has stopped that. But Marco Rubio brought up a fantastic point. This is, again, these are the people that need to be scared. I'm telling you, if you're here on a visa, student visa or work visa, and you don't just go to school or because, by the way, our First Amendment does not apply to you on a work visa. I'm sorry. Sorry, champ. Not a U.S. citizen. They say you can change that if you want to, but that's the way we stand. So this ass went and led these protests, these violent protests, beating up Jewish students and all, and he's getting shipped back home. Marco Rubio brought up the best response to that. He goes, I have this government in my department. I have sole discretion on who gets to stay on a visa and doesn't. Presidents and administrations remove visas all the time. Send people back. You're only worried about this one because it supports your pro-Palestinian, pro-Hamas bent. That's it. Going all over the place there. But yes, Rosie O'Donnell is gone. So that is good news, and hopefully she just actually I think she moved to Ireland, and Ireland's like, what the hell, dudes? We don't why we gotta come? Why is she coming here to jack up our culture? The hell is she gonna do in Ireland? I have no idea. All right, Andrews. Issues yesterday we covered that. Let's get into headlines. Not the headlines of the day. Let's just talk about some headlines. We in the media biz have often said, if it bleeds, it leads. And for those that don't know what that means, if it bleeds, it leads. There is a theory that if there's a horrible car accident, or if a hostage was taken, or if there was an officer involved shooting, anything like that, if it bleeds, it's the top story of your broadcast. It is the top story. There's actually a station here that I used to work at. Weather was their biggest thing. It was the dumbest thing ever. Rain in the valley. I'm like, oh, come on. Yeah, rain. It's raining. It's like it does everywhere in the nation. Everywhere rains. It's not exciting. But if it bleeds, it leads. So the headlines have gotten so stupid in the past 6 years. I mean, they have gotten so ridiculous. And the reporters and the journalists and the online reporters, whatever, the online publications, they're getting away with it. Until you start having the Gen X cabinet of Donald Trump start going after one of them. Listen to this. This is fantastic. I love this. This is the head of the VA, by the way.
Second thing, Patricia, I really need to know. One of the things that I've been finding, we got into it a little bit in the discussion, but one of the issues that we're having is, and it's something here, I need your help on something. I need your help because all I seem to be doing lately is fighting back against innuendo and rumor stories.
Yep. Uh-huh.
And this is what I seem to be fighting about all the time. In fact, Patricia.
How refreshing is this? How refreshing is this? He's handing her an article. Here's the headline you wrote. Here, this is what I want to show you.
Part of it is with you.
I'm sure.
And I
I'm
just
sure.
need your help because when you start headlines with, there's a rumor going around, and that we've heard that hurts my veterans. That scares my veterans. That scares my employees because it's not true.
Yep.
Will you commit to not doing that in the future?
He just said, will you commit to not doing this? She's getting beat down right now. She's getting a spanking. She's getting a scolding. This is so refreshing. I don't even know what to do with myself.
Well, there was a DOJ representative that day.
I have a VA employee who is our DOJ liaison. You knew that, and you could ask that question.
Yep.
I did ask that
But
question.
when you got the answer. But my question here is, I need you to commit to not starting off. Rumors began circulating.
I mean,
Well, if
that's
it's either true or false, Patricia, and then you go to Patty Murphy, saying that we've heard and we have DOJ may have barged into the VA today.
May have.
Unconfirmed hearsay. You know what you'd have done if I was a member of Congress and probably done that? Unconfirmed report. But you didn't put unconfirmed report.
Right.
So, Patricia,
Right.
I want to work together with you,
Okay.
but I need you
fair.
to commit to me that you're not going to do this.
I'm working on it, and I have
Working on it.
I have been
Sister, Yoda said it best. Do or do not. There is no try. We're not trying to. You're just not going to do this anymore. This dumb innuendo stuff, and rumor has it. Sources are telling me. Can you believe that? Sources are telling me has been accepted by us as a we the people for too damn long. Sources are telling, inside sources in the wide. No, name them. Mike Russell from In Other News said, or don't print it. Why? We can't stand for this nonsense anymore. It's a lot like they, right? They are saying, you know what they say? They are saying, yeah, they're saying every time somebody gets a cold. Yeah, they're saying it's going around. Who's they? The hell are you talking about? Where's it going? Can you show me where it's going around? Do you have a can you send me a link? What do you mean they? They say it's going around. They. Okay. So they say it's going around. Same thing. Inside anonymous sources tell me, or a source has told me. Rumors. Wasn't there a song? A really good song? Rumors.
Oh, actually, I have another question based on that. Thank you very much.
No, I want to hear the answer first. Are you committing not to do rumors?
Not gonna answer
Because you're
your
scaring my VA employees about this.
That's fair.
And you're scaring my
Here
veterans.
you go.
Yeah, I
That's
will do
unforgivable.
that.
That's
I
not
will
a
do
that's
that.
not a something I
But
take
if
lightly.
a rumor is different than if I have a source,
Then you source it to our PR
Amen.
people and let them know. Because you know something, I've got people who are reporting stuff right now who aren't even calling us.
Uh-oh.
They don't even get something
I
from.
call
They don't
too,
even
right?
call us to check it.
well, that's not right.
Well, this
There you
isn't
go.
right either.
Okay.
Line them
Well,
up.
that's fair. But I did call about that.
There you go.
I did call about
And you got the answer, but yet you still report it as a rumor.
Well, I didn't.
Okay,
report-
which is it? Which is it? Is it a rumor or is
the
it get
lead
confirmed?
was that there is a
Quite literally every reporter in the nation needs to be treated just like this. And the reporters that say this, that say, I haven't given you one of those headlines. Here you go. I actually don't practice in that. Great. High five. Good job. Go back to work. Do your thing. You're doing a great job. Other than that, line these people up. I want them all to commit. And I love this. He's not going to let her
Doge person.
go
There
until
Yes,
is the
okay,
lead.
nobody
Second
nobody
round.
has said that from you. Nobody. We answered it, but it was reported as a rumor. I mean, you think
I
about
take
this.
issue with parsing out
you know,
my
and
stuff,
in
but
the
that's
in the
fine.
headline of the story,
I don't write the
Elon
headlines.
Musk. Hey, I don't care who
I don't
wrote it.
write
You're
the headlines. I know.
I don't write my headlines. That is the weakest excuse. That is unless that excuse is followed up with, I don't write my own headlines and I'm going to fire who does. Or as a matter of fact, I'm going to get the same commitment that I'm giving you today from my headline writer. And I do believe her when she says that they don't write their own headlines. I do believe that. I think that makes, I think that is I think that's factual. And it makes sense because there are social media marketing savvy people that want that headline that makes it clickbait. But to have Secretary Collins go at this reporter with her own headlines and say, I would like you to stop doing this because you're making my veterans antsy, and that's inexcusable. My veterans see what you said here, a rumor that Doge is going to cut benefits or whatever the hell it said. You're scaring my people, scaring my employees, and you're scaring my veterans. And God bless you, Mr. Collins. God bless you. That is fantastic. That's exactly the type of attitude that every one of these people need to take with these reporters. It's no longer, especially with the I'll say this, the socioeconomics of this cabinet is no longer I better go on this, I better go on this show, or I better do this, or I'm not going to get invited to this soiree or the correspondence dinner, this or that. They don't care. This entire cabinet does not care about any reporter's nonsense. As a matter of fact, this entire cabinet has at one time or another been hosed by the mass media. And if they all take this same stance in every single interview, hell, we might get something done. Or just give them more to talk about. Aha, Bonnie Raitt. See, I see you got the Adele line in there. Thanks, Rhonda. Bonnie Raitt's give them something to talk about. Damn good song. Am I going to get shut down? I said that. I don't know. Can I say the song title? Meta? Can I say that? I can say the song title. Can't play the damn song, but we can say the song title. Okay, we'll go Just stick with that. Interesting that EDS is now in the mainstream. EDS is a syndrome that my family suffers from. It's joints and tendons, and it's really crappy. Not those good kind of joints. I'm talking about the joints in your body. And so it was Ehlers-Danlos syndrome. But EDS is now mainstream as Elan derangement syndrome. And Elan derangement syndrome is just absolutely rolling. And Tesla dropped 10%. The stock price dropped 10%. It has rebounded up 8% again. I checked before we came on. It rebounding nicely. Everything's fine. I had somebody tell me, what do you think about that Tesla stock? I'm like, why are you celebrating a man's company that the man is doing this for free and auditing the government and finding fraud and waste? What's wrong with that? Oh, what about the Department of Education? Oh, we'll get to the Department of Education. Trust me. Can I help you? Can I help you? Okay, let's just not bury the lead. Can we just do this? Queen Bee and I did a thing, and I'm going to show you what Queen Bee and I did because we might be interrupted by some coughing. Yes, you think you're going to get that right here. Hang tight. Let's get this here, and we go select. And we're gonna share this here. And I do this stuff real time, guys. Sorry if you guys are watching for the first time. I do this stuff all the time, so you're just gonna have to deal. Sometimes I get an idea to show something, and I would like to show it, and I'm going to do that right here. And I'm gonna show you a little thing that Queen Bee and I did yesterday. That's OnlyFans. No. Not that one. We don't do that. We don't do that on Tuesdays. Come on, OnlyFans on Tuesdays. Who does that? Let me show you what the thing that we did that just showed up here. I'll start with this one right here, so you guys can enjoy it. There it is. Yep, we did a thing. There he is, right there in all of his glory, and I can throw you a new one. That's right. Yes. Let me throw you another one here. Let me throw you just so you can see this dude's nose is just rad. There you go. Here you go. Boom. Look at that. There you go. We got so we got it. Yeah, we got it. Yeah. Thank you very much, Chris. He is a cutie. He is Catahoula and Labrador is apparently what the pound said he is. He is 1 year old, and he is quite the gentleman. He does have kennel cough, so I am now quarantined. I can't see my beloved Aussie or Queen Bee for a couple of days. But yeah, so when did I get? Where did I get Mr. Adorable from? The Maricopa County Rescue. That's where we got Aussie, and I think at so far 24 hours in, I think we're pretty damn close to getting lucky again with this. I mean, look at this little guy. And so little guy, I mean, he's about 57, 60 pounds. He's a big dude. But I took him for a walk this morning, just around the block. I don't want to be around other dogs. And he was just a nice slack leash. He just chilled. He didn't pull at all. This dog is, I lucked out again. So anyway, we did a thing. So that's why I had to tell you when he was coming in here and he was going to start knocking lights down because he does not know what daddy does yet. Mm-hmm. We got about another 5 days, probably 4 days of quarantine. He's on his 6th day of antibiotics. So, but he just, when he gets up, he's just, it's just absolutely horrible. It's horrifying. Ugh. Yes. But anyway, that's our doogie. Yep. We have not named him yet. If the finalist of the name, because Catahoulas are the only breed of dog that originated in Louisiana. And so Catahoula, we want the Louisiana name. So it is either what do we have here? We had Banjo, Bio, or Boone. So those are the three options as it stands now. If anybody would like to vote, go ahead. Yeah, Boone, Bayou, or Banjo. Yeah, I'm leaning towards Banjo Bobby Bouchain, but that's just me. Banjo Bobby Bouchain. I think Queen Bee's in on that one too. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, yes, there we go. Pup. He's right there. Quarantining, and yeah, it's just bad dance guy. Oh, Boudreaux or Boudoir. Boudreaux. Boudoir, Boudreaux. I don't know. I'll speak French. But Jim wasn't with the French names. I like that. Grizz say likes the banjo. Yeah, banjo's kind of a cool name. I don't know. See? You're gonna hack up a lung over here? Yeah. Jeez Louise. That poor thing. It sounds so awful. This poor kid. All right, buddy. Just lay there. You're good. Every time you get up, you start doing that. Every time you start hacking up a lung. Ay. All right. Let's stick with reporters. We'll get to the Department of Education here in a moment. Let's stick with reporters, shall we? And Mr. Jennings of CNN fame is a national treasure and needs to be secured at all costs. Quite literally at all costs. This man is a national treasure. And I don't know if he got his mannerisms working with W or W got his mannerisms working with Jennings. So who knows? But let's just jump into this.
It's something I'm sure none of you have ever seen before. This is the president using the bully pulpit not to sell his agenda, but to sell cars.
It's hardly the first time.
Yeah. And Jennings right here. It is not the first time that he's done that. Do you remember Joe Biden in the F-150, the electric F-150, the Lightning? Yeah.
We've had cars on the South Lawn. Man, here's a video of Joe Biden driving a Jeep Rubicon around the South Lawn. I mean, it's pretty common.
And President Trump did it before in his first term as well.
It's pretty common for this.
And why you say we haven't seen it before? Why? Again, this is going back to the journalism part of it. Why are you saying you haven't seen this before? This is disingenuous, dishonest, and we cannot. There's no way.
For the President of the United States to boost American industries, American-made products, and companies that are, employing Americans. It's extremely common. He obviously has a close relationship with Elon, who, by the way, is, I think, unfairly under attack. And this company is unfairly under attack. You have these insane people all over the country chasing people down in their Teslas in New York City. I had a friend who tried to trade his Tesla in New York the other day, and there were protesters screaming at his children.
Look,
See, all right, so okay, that, and it's true. So we're gonna digress. We'll come back to that. And by the way, Grizz, yeah, if I name the dog Gator, John intern Nuge would absolutely lose his mind. That's like his favorite dog name. He wants to name his dog that, and I don't want to make the kid cry. Anyway, he wouldn't cry. The White House, I'm sorry, Marjorie Taylor Greene, and a few others are getting together to dub these vandals that are firebombing cyber trucks and breaking the windows of dealerships and vandalizing trucks and Teslas. We'll get to the stickers in a minute. They want to call them domestic terrorists. This is not a good idea. The reason why it sounds like a good idea. It sounds like a good idea that these are, because it is terrorism. I mean, if you drive a Tesla, you drive a Cybertruck, you're looking over your shoulder right now. That is terror. That is the intent and goal of terrorism is to strike fear and terror into the masses. In this subset of our masses, those that drive Teslas and Cybertrucks, are terrorized right now. So I don't disagree with the notion of doing that at all. I really don't, because that is not a freedom of expression. That is not, you are not free to break the law and endanger other people and ruin property, destroy property. But insurance. Do you understand you have to have a terrorism rider for your insurance? Not kidding. If your neighborhood is blown up by a terrorist, your insurance might not cover that. So act of terror and act of God are some of the things that we're seeing in insurance claims. I'm sorry, insurance policies. So if you're a Tesla dealership owner, or or just a Cybertruck or whatever, Cybertruck owner, and somebody's vandalizing or blows up your car, and they are deemed domestic terrorists, you might be SOL. You might stuck with that truck payment, no truck. It's Cybertruck. It's truck only in name. Yeah, it's only in name. Yeah, the cyber van is yeah. The cyber van is ridiculous. It does look like the job was rigged. It is absolutely ridiculous. And that's fine. Elon, stick to the government stuff now, dude. Stop designing cars. We don't want our roads looking like that. Cybertruck is quite literally the worst flex of anything ever. Because people drive Cybertrucks for one reason, and that's to flex. That's it. They're not trucks. We played that video for you about a week ago where the truck was going up a rock and like, ooh, did that. That's amazing. Yeah. But anyway, so that is domestic terrorist, but you're like, wait a second. You got to look at all the facts first. Got to look at both sides. Got to look at all the angles. Yeah, look at all the angles. Anyway, so let's get back to Mr. Jennings, CNN. Let's go here.
There's some insanity
and they deserve
happening.
support from the
But
government.
let's be clear. Let's not skirt over the fact that Elon Musk spent $250 million to elect Donald Trump.
So you're against it?
Do you want the list of people that spent more than that to get Biden elected, to get Obama elected, to get Trump elected the first time, to get W elected, to get Clinton elected? Just stop. Abby, stop with your self-righteous nonsense. This self-righteous crap is you need to ask these. I want you to commit to not doing this anymore because it's dumb.
American company.
No,
You don't want the government to support this.
Doesn't he have the same mannerisms as W? He does.
doesn't look bad at a time when Americans are struggling
Right.
to have the president.
Oh, just at a time when Americans are struggling. See, all of the rules have to be different. If America's struggling, on a time when America's struggling, how could you do? Oh, wow, let me tell you, America's struggling. What does that have to do with anything? What does that have to do with anything? Yeah, what about the Americans that work? What about the Americans that build Teslas? What about those people?
Hawking cars for the richest guy in the world
Nope.
because his political
Does it
endeavors.
look bad for the president to support an American company that employs thousands of American workers?
No.
Yeah.
No.
I don't think it looks bad.
No, he's supporting Elon Musk.
Who do you think builds the cars, brother?
Elon Musk
This is
builds the
not okay.
car.
He said, brother. I'm like, oh boy, you just that new contract you signed might get ripped up quick. Watch yourself. Son.
No, the workers of the United States of America, where they build they're
What I'm
building
telling you
cars.
right now is the way I look
He's
at
not
that
the only person that
is
works there.
I look,
Domestic
Yeah.
terror.
The way I look at that is because we said the way I look at that means I have to look at it from the angle that only Elon Musk benefits from Donald Trump being in a Cybertruck or a Tesla. Only Elon Musk. So that's the same again. You go back to Biden. You go back to W on his F-250. By the way, driving around his ranch with Vladimir Putin. With Vladimir Putin. So in an F-250. Like presidents drive the president really can't drive cars anymore, but you can at least get in one. Yeah. I love that he's got a cowboy hat on, like he's a man of the people. Shut up. Come on, here we go.
Charges for people who were.
Why are they singling out Teslas? I mean, why? Because Elon Musk supports Donald Trump. These people are chasing Tesla owners. They might chase you someday.
So you agree?
Watch this. Listen to what he says right here. They might chase. That means the guy in the cowboy hat drives a Tesla. Okay, now listen.
Jason,
sign on
do you
mine.
agree on the domestic terror?
purchased in 2019.
I don't know.
He said, I have a sign on mine purchased in 2019. Again, I keep having to say this over and over again. That is why you lost. That's why the Democrats lost. It's crap like that independents, moderates see, that you need independents and moderates to win an election. Independents and moderates see Teslas running around saying, I bought mine in 2019. That's a guaranteed vote for J.D. Vance for the next term. Guaranteed vote. That's a guaranteed vote for Republicans in the midterms. But they don't seem to see this. Something that they just turn a blind eye to. Like they did not. They absolutely learned nothing from the last election. They have learned nothing. Holy mackerel. Oh, mine says 2019. Don't you worry about that. Mine says I bought it in 2019 before this Trump character.
Look, Elon Musk currently holds a position of trust in our government. He is a top advisor to the President of the United States, and there's clearly a bunch of people out there who are targeting him and his products specifically. If that's not terrorism, I'm not sure what is. They are terrorizing people who bought an Elon Musk product.
I think I should.
Yeah, get in there. See, and then there's two common sense people at the table right there. And I think it's important to have both of them. So let's get to the Department of Education. Now that Daniel said this, Daniel, I love this. This is funny. He said Democrats don't read. Yeah, because of public education. You know my feelings on public education. Very passionate about it. And it's broken. It's not working. And it sucks. That was my feeling. I believe that teachers need to be paid more. The teachers need to be paid the most, and the administrators need to be paid the bottom. Period. That's the way it should go. It's why I've maintained that position. I have not wavered from my position one time. But Mike, you're against Prop 123. Yeah, because it was a scam. And we know it was. I was right. But Mike, you were against Red for Ed. Yeah, again, another scam, another lie to teachers. And now teachers are still bringing in products and asking parents to bring in products and all this is terrible. The uproar over, oh my God, Donald Trump's getting rid of the Department of Education. Guess what? Good. I'm sorry. I was educated prior to the Department of, for the majority of my schooling, I was educated prior to the Department of Education. Let me fact check that live. Hang tight. When was the Department of Education founded? Yeah. No, actually, no. Okay, so I was a product. I started right as the Department of Education came along. Administration and district level employees getting paid more than oh, absolutely. Absolutely, 100%. Actually, it started in 79 was when it was it actually started moving along in 80. So yes, it is absolutely ridiculous. 100% ridiculous. I hate all the crap that I see. My son's gym, basketball gym, is absurd, like $9 million gym. It's got pyrotechnics. It's the dumbest thing. It's got this big gaudy like thing in the front, and it's just awful. It's awful. So instead of a $500,000 or even $1 million renovation of the current gym, they built a $9 million gym. And look at me and say I need to bring glue and wipes and all that stuff for the first day of school because they can't afford it. It's a bunch of garbage. It's pure garbage. I see the elementary school district. I see all the wraps on the trucks run around, the food trucks and all this, the catering and whatever the heck it is. They're the food truck. I'm like, those are really nice wraps. Those are thousands of dollars a piece. Can't pay the teacher. Unbelievable. Here's the deal. Department of Education. Oh, they're going to get rid of the Department of Education. 90% of funding comes from the states to the states. About 10% come from the feds. That 10% is being promised to the states. So they're made whole financially. But now we get to go over our superintendent of public instruction and really give them a what for? Dude, you won the election. Cool, you're on the clock. Test scores need to be up. Here's how I'm going to fix this in the state of Arizona. I say that because it is my lovely, lovely state of Arizona. I love Arizona. Oh, do I love some Arizona? Immediately, all funding goes to the state. So that starts with that. So we start with Arizona and we start with all funding comes to us. We have test score baselines. Where we are today, we're in the test scores today, we want to know them. The next year, our tests are going to be as sealed as the winning Oscar envelopes. The teachers will not see them. The students will not see them. The administrators will not see them. Independently, each test would be delivered to the schools electronically or whatever day of the test. Why? So teachers don't teach to the test. Teachers can right now teach to the test, and they're still failing. Our test scores are still going down. So if you think, oh, it's so terrible, we're getting rid of the Department of Education. What have they done? Have they done a good job? Oh, well, we just maybe need some reform in the Department of Education. No, you need to just eliminate it and start again if you want that. There's no reason for the federal government to have a hand in education nationwide. When it's failed like this, no. Sorry, you failed, you're done, you're fired. States can handle this from here on out. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Education is a big, obviously, one of the biggest parts of our nation. This is the good stuff. This is as important as debt spending. I'm sorry, deficit spending. It's as important. So let's let the states handle it. Yeah, I agree. They should be baseline. Yeah, right. Yeah. Too much money stolen from education. Oh, by the administrators. I'm going to say that straight up. There's administrators, I've seen this all public with this. I went through this with the Red Fred stuff. There's administrators that have car allowances, they have clothing allowances, they have an entertainment budget. I'm like, there's absolutely zero reason for this. And the buildings that some of these administrations are in, a medium-sized business would give anything to have that kind of a building, a place to do business. Yeah. And then, okay, so then I was asked this question. What about student loans and the Department of Education handling student loans? It's a nightmare. Yeah, okay, good. It's a nightmare. Then you've proven the point, but okay, it's a nightmare. So we're going to eliminate that as well. That debt is going to be repaid from here on. From if you had a loan yesterday, you got the standard way. That's just the way it's going to go. It's going through the feds and just deal with it. I'm sorry, that's just the way life has been. If you get one tomorrow, the money comes from the institution that you're going to. How about this? There's a high percentage of people that don't graduate college, don't finish college, that end up with student loan debt. They take a student loan out and they go for 2 years and they say it's not for me, or I don't want to do it, or the pot wasn't good enough, I got to go somewhere else. Whatever it is. They don't have a degree, but they have student loans. Do you think that would happen if I went to ASU and they lent me the money that I had to pay back? Do you think they're going to put me out into the world without a degree because I owe them money? You got to think a little bit in those terms. The things have to be looked at in different ways. And we have to keep looking in different ways. Because the Department of Education was a failed experiment. Here's a fun fact that you're going to hear me say way too many times. We are $36 trillion in debt. Somebody, you guys right there. So all these employees that are like, we got fired for just doing our job. No, you got fired because the media tells you that you were fired. You were not fired. You were laid off. We don't have the money for you. You were laid off, just like any other person. Any other person. The videos on top of videos on top of videos about this stuff. It's unbelievable. So we're $36 trillion in debt. According to science, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. Okay? You with me on that? Do you know what happened 36 trillion hours ago? According to science, the forming of the Earth. That's how much 36 trillion is. 36 trillion hours ago, the Earth was formed 4.5 billion years ago. It's hard to get your head around. It really is hard to get around. How about this? Let's see here. 1.9, let's see, $1 trillion, just $1 trillion. I did some math before the show here. If you go back a trillion minutes, that's when Homo erectus was first roaming around the Earth. It's a trillion. This is so stupid. So dumb. It's a trillion minutes ago. They tried baselines with aims back to education here. I'm so good back to education. Aims to be able to get a diploma. It was watered down and replaced with AZ merit. Oh, absolutely. Oh God, it's absolutely terrible. It's terrifying. Why? You got to make your department, Department of Education look better for the feds, so the feds give you your 10%. I'm telling you, once the states have this right, once the states have this ability to control their own education, you're going to see a lot of changes. You're going to see test scores go up. Because ain't nobody's going to be running on this. You could be the superintendent of public instruction in Arizona and be just fine. Be like, oh, I don't blame me. It was all that Common Core from that Obama character. Yeah, it's not. Never has been. There are a couple things that we did not get to today that we will, including Health and Human Services. RFK Jr. Has met with the heads of big food, of processed food, and we'll see how that turned out, and we will see what happens with this government shutdown. Dun dun dun. I am going to give player that has not yet been named a antibiotic for his cough right now. So I'm taking off. All right, you guys. Hey, thank you so much for hanging out with me. This is Other News. I'm your host, Mike Russell, and we will do this again tomorrow at noon. Have a great rest of your day.